Tim, you bring up the Anthony Davis example. I think back, okay, Boston maybe would have been interested in that scenario, but it was very clear there was only one destination that Anthony had in mind, and that was the Los Angeles Lakers. So, Woj, I guess that begs the question. Now it is July 31st. It was a month ago on July 1st that we heard Damian Lillard say for the very first time that he officially wants a trade, and there is a one team that he has in mind, the Miami Heat. So now, 30 days later, where does this entire saga stand?
Malika, but at one point, and you just mentioned it, the Anthony Davis situation when he was leaving New Orleans, when he had asked out, he essentially, the threat that he was able to give to teams, including Boston, was, I'll come play for you, I'll play hard, but I'm going to leave in free agency. The Lakers will have the cap space, and I'm going to leave. Lillard doesn't have that leverage because he has 4 years, over $175 million left on his contract. And that's part of what I think is holding up the trade market. That's part of why there is perhaps not the feeding frenzy people thought there might be for a Damian Lillard trade. It is not because teams think that if we traded for Damian Lillard, he wouldn't play hard for us. He'd be too unhappy here. It wouldn't make for a good enough environment for us to take him on. That has not been the issue with teams. It has simply been the idea, I think for a lot of teams, his age and the idea of paying him over $60 million at 35 and 36 years old, the last 2 years of his deal. So certainly Miami remains the team, I think, most motivated, that has enough assets to eventually perhaps outbid the market. The problem is, listen, Portland looks at what Miami has, doesn't love it, and keeps hoping something better is going to come along. It may or may not, I think, but certainly you get into the dog days of summer. As July turns to August, lots of GMs, team presidents, owners who are involved in these conversations, they're going on vacation. Teams aren't engaged. There are no deadlines looming, and that certainly has slowed up this process. Miami's not going to bid against itself and keep upping its offer when it doesn't think Portland necessarily has anything comparable. That's why this is dragging out and why it may continue to drag out. The next real deadline is the start of training camp in late September. That's certainly going to be a moment of truth for the Portland organization. Do they want to bring Lillard back into camp with all of this swirling around, or do they at that point take the best offer they can get out there? Do they take it into the season? But right now, there's just not been a lot of engagement among teams on a Lillard trade.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.